And edibles are a terrible way to microdose, right? For example, you eat a gummy, you now have a 3 to 4 hour experience on your hands. And, you might have a 30-minute uptake or an arbitrarily longer one, and you just don't know it's coming. So how do you microdose when your whole goal is to have, a titrated experience where you're just taking a little bit when you need it? Well, you can't. But with dabbing, you can. It's just about taking a smaller dab. So on the jar, we tell you exactly how many milligrams of THC are in the whole jar. You can just divide it by what you want. So let's say it's 1,000 milligrams of THC in the whole jar. You want to do a 10 milligram dab like your beverage, 10 into 1,000. You're going to take a 0.01 dab. Now just weigh that out. Every single time you're going to be having a 10 milligram dab. Now that reliability and repeatability comes with the uptake of smoking, right? So it's instantaneous activity. So your arthritis is acting up, just take a little dab and you're good to go.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Ganja Show. It's been a long day today. This is our fourth guest, an amazing one at it, Jonathan Hirsh. He's a lead educator at Mera Cannabis. They make some amazing products. I'll also name some brands like Awana, Countryside, and more. Welcome, Jonathan, to the show.
How's it going?
Good. We were just talking before we started recording how grow up is so much more different than lift. Have you been enjoying the cannabis cup yet or no?
Absolutely. I was just outside watching the flower judges getting judgy with it, judging all the samples and having a great time.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Very different than lift.
Yeah. Did you are you participating in this thing too?
Yeah, I'll be judging tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll be looking at the hash cup samples.
Nice.
Yeah, today's flower.
So, being a lead educator, what would you say? I want to understand basically if it's a term that you don't hear a lot.
Well, I mean, I'm a professor of cannabis over
Yeah.
at Centennial College, and when I joined Mera Cannabis, it was all about education, right?
Mhm.
Being a master educator is just all about providing the right information to the right people the way they need to hear it.
Yeah.
And so part of the problem with the industry was at the time when I joined the company was concentrates just were very misunderstood. It's not a category that is widely accepted yet here in Canada. And, kind of having my formative years around cannabis growing up in California, dabbing was always my modality of choice. It's just such a great way to consume. And so to bring that information back to Canada and back to the consumer and even to the retailers was just really exciting.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think a lot of people don't really know much about concentrates. How would you introduce concentrates to your average consumer, like considering me also?
Well, everyone's different and everyone's looking for a different experience, right? Some people are just looking for high THC, and for them, it's a great option because it's a viably, financially, agreeable option for those who don't want to hurt their wallet but still want to have a great uplifting experience. But those who want to microdose, they tend to lead towards things like edible oils or edibles. And edibles are a terrible way to microdose, right? For example, you eat a gummy, you now have a 3 to 4 hour experience on your hands. And, you might have a 30-minute uptake or an arbitrarily longer one, and you just don't know it's coming. So how do you microdose when your whole goal is to have, a titrated experience where you're just taking a little bit when you need it?
Yeah.
Well, you can't. But with dabbing, you can. It's just about taking a smaller dab. So on the jar, we tell you exactly how many milligrams of THC are in the whole jar. You can just divide it by what you want. So let's say it's 1,000 milligrams of THC in the whole jar. You want to do a 10 milligram dab like your beverage, 10 into 1,000. You're going to take a 0.01 dab. Now just weigh that out. Every single time you're going to be having a 10 milligram dab. Now that reliability and repeatability comes with the uptake of smoking, right? So it's instantaneous activity. So your arthritis is acting up, just take a little dab and you're good to go.
Yeah. When people talk, that's really good explanation though, and I now realize why you're a teacher. When you talk about like concentrates, it's a very unless people know about like electrical dab rigs, all of those things, it's a very like challenging task in terms of having a dab rig, a torch, all of those things. What do you suggest someone who is just a beginner to start with.
Absolutely. I mean, it comes down to, the 90s and 80s babies look at dabbing and say, oh, freebasing cannabis. And they look at it like, oh, it's crack cocaine. But it's not.
Yeah.
When you freebase cannabis, the benefit of that is, frankly, it's the smallest surface area with the largest amount of impact on the lung, which is amazing because, frankly, we don't want to inhale particulate, right?
Yeah.
Look at COPD. Look at all those nasty things that come from smoking tobacco. We don't want to replicate that, right?
Yeah.
So dabbing is vaporization. That's the first thing we need to get into people's heads. Concentrate consumption, dabbing, vaporization, no particulate inhalation. And you don't need to use a torch, right? You mentioned it. E-dab rigs are really great, but I think the easiest way to introduce it to people is the Shatterizer. The Shatterizer pen is just so simple. You just pop the top, drop in your shatter or diamond or rosin, and close it up, and boom, you're good to go. And, like every type of concentrate is just for different people, right? For me, it's like eggs. Some people love powdered eggs. Some people love Eggs Benedict.
Yeah.
It's just a spectrum of concentrates, right? So live resin might sit on one end and live rosin might sit on the other end, but they're both just spectrums of concentrates, and everyone can find their little home and happy place in that world.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out to Val, by the way, for hooking me up with the Shatterizer pen.
Val's
really
a really great person.
Yeah.
So is Matt, her partner.
Yeah.
And they just put out fire product. Have you tried their concentrates yet?
Actually, no, that's what I'm saying. I'm just a beginner. So trying to get
try
into it.
their Shatterizer double infused joint. It's got keef on the outside, shatter infused flower on the inside.
Yeah.
You don't need any dab rig to try it. If you don't want shatter, we've got the orange kush cake live resin infused Havana double kush cake. Oh my glob, it's fire. It gets me high school high.
Yeah. I was just going to come to that actually. There was an incident that happened at my dispensary. Someone just called in asking, do you have the Havana Kush Cake pre-roll? I'm like, yeah, we just got those in. He's like, how many do you have? We're like, we have 10, whatever. He came in, he was like, okay, yeah, you know what, just give me 6. But then we tried, it's because it's considered a concentrate.
Yes.
You can't just, it's just a pre-roll.
The equivalency.
The equivalency was a bitch there. But then he ended up buying literally the whole case that we had. We had 11 left and he was like, just give me everything. I don't want to, because it's such a commodity now.
They're so hard to find.
Hard to keep. So yeah, I think that was one of the biggest innovation in terms of infusing a pre-roll twice. Once with live resin, another with keef. And without any additives. I think there's no distillate.
Listen, there's no distillate.
Yeah.
There's no fake terps.
Yeah.
Nothing added. Just 100% live resin. And what I think was the real innovation, and it's kind of hard to convey via any marketing just because of how the market works, is I developed a technique to create cold infused live resin. So live resin, to me, the only thing that makes it stand out from, say, really anything is the terpenes.
Yeah.
Now, if you raise the terpenes above room temperature, they start to evaporate. They start to vanish and change, and that's no good. So what I did was I developed a technique to infuse the flower cold. And so the terps never change. So it's real live resin in that flower. And then that keef coating, just being temp stable. You can go to the park. You can keep it in your pocket. It's never going to affect it.
Yeah.
Just a great experience. Yeah. Absolutely.
No, I feel like I should have tried it. Haven't tried it yet. I
Gotta
did
get on
try
that,
the
bro.
countryside live resin once, and they were amazing. So, yeah.
Yeah, the banana hammock joint is crazy. Yeah. The banana hammock vape, obviously, is insane. And we got new stuff coming down the pipeline in the future. Havana, we're dropping diamonds and sauce for $39.95, so can't go wrong with that.
Yeah. So all of this build up, my question was, how are you getting so many good products all together? Like, is it
honestly,
like you? It's the master grow. Who's doing all of it?
Honestly, it comes down to, we have a great team of innovators on the team. Myself, I personally developed the live resin infusion joints. We've got, incredible legacy people on the team who really just understand what the actual consumer truly wants. They're not here sitting going, how do we appease the kind of curious low dose consumer? It's not our consumer. It's not who I personally am looking to serve.
Yeah.
For me, who I care about is the stoner who knows what they want.
Yeah.
And that's why we brought the Alevia RSO to market, right?
Yeah.
It's an old school hash oil for those old school hash heads who knew exactly what it was. And man, we can't keep that stuff on the shelves, right? It's the multi-tool of weed. You can dab it, you can smoke it, you can eat it, you can put it in an Oreo, and boom, you got an infused Oreo for 82 cents a click. That's 17 milligrams of THC edible for 82 cents. You talked about equivalency, and that's the biggest problem out there, right? You want to buy a reasonable amount of edibles so you can have a great experience. You can't do it, but you can buy my click, and then you could just like dose whatever you want, right? Dose that hot chocolate. Do whatever you need to do to get high.
Yeah, this might sound like an ad, but this is not.
No,
we don't know each other.
I've never met this guy
but they're
before.
making amazing products, and RSO is honestly one of the best innovations on the market, even though it's old school.
It's not innovation.
Yeah.
It's just bringing to the market what everyone knew.
Exactly.
Yeah, like even those old school dudes who come in, they're like, the vial of, this is it.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it is. Yeah. I just bring to the market what people want.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sick of buying stuff that I don't want. And so I just bring what I want. You know?
Also, when you said you're only focusing on the heavy users, those are the people who are actually spending money. Those are the 80% of the people who are, those are 20% of the people making 80% of your revenues.
I think it's more, bro. I think it's more.
It could, yeah.
But yeah, no, absolutely, right? Two people smoke 98% of the weed. And like, if you can capture that market, it's fantastic. And frankly, they want to be captured.
Yeah.
Everybody I know on the legacy side's like, please, if you can make me a product that I would buy, I'd go and buy it. You know, like just make it for me.
Exactly, yeah. All of these old school users, they also want to make sure like they get high. They've been smoking for so long, there's tolerances which you can't just have from your normal joints and stuff like that. Yeah, it's amazing, yeah. Now, just talking about you personally, how many Instagram accounts have you had deleted by now?
Oh, good Lord, don't even go there. I think I'm on my 11th now or 12th, I don't even know.
Yeah,
I keep getting backup accounts deleted.
Yeah?
It's the worst.
I have never faced that issue personally, but I know you are the only person that I know in my like vicinity of social circle that has like gotten this account taken out so many times. Is it because somebody's like reporting you, or is just like Meta doing its own thing?
Who knows? I mean, frankly, it's likely reporting.
Yeah.
Look, every time I drop a new product, I get deleted. Wonder why?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what to tell you. It's the haters gonna hate.
Yeah.
We put out reasonably priced product that's good. They don't like that.
Yeah, but the main issue here is like censorship. Like it shouldn't matter now that you're in a legal industry, working for a legal cannabis brand, being like a university professor. Like what else does a social media company need? Like you are the perfect like social media person for cannabis.
Yes, but the in the eyes of Instagram, they're still under America's rule, right? And until America legalizes, things like the banking is going to be a problem. Things like social media will be a problem forever. And I'd love to see change, but for me, change is not coming anytime soon.
Yeah.
What did I do? I pivoted, right? I had fully committed to making my business on social media for a long time. And, about 3 years ago, I realized that that's just not sustainable anymore. And so, that's why I ended up joining a cannabis company, was to push my career to the next level.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, now, even if you're not in cannabis, it's very hard to like build a career on social media just because there's so many ways you can just get taken down, and all of your like income, fame, anything you had is just like erased in a second. So
absolutely, it definitely becomes a bit of a disaster. That's certainly the case.
So just talking about the Canadian market right now, obviously you're coming up with products in terms of experienced users. I would in fact say those countryside 10 packs is like a huge hit just because you get 5 grams of weed for like under $30.
Yeah, the uninfused, it's so amazing. I mean, I've literally been driving and I've seen everyone from, the underhomed to, the soccer mom smoking them. And I think that that's incredible, right? They're value priced, but the quality is there. Our Harvest Reserve is our indoor hand-dried, hand-trimmed flower colas. But our countryside 10-pack of 10th Planet, that's our outdoor flower. Sun-grown, kissed by the sun every day in beautiful St. Thomas, Ontario. For me, the best part about them is they come with that Bovida in there. Right?
Yeah.
Never dry. No more darn dry weed. Like, how many times have you bought a pre-roll and you're like, well, this would have been good if they sold it to me like 8 months ago.
Yeah. There's some pre-rolls which you order from the OCS, the package date is like April of 2021.
Yeah,
So
no, my
that's a
goal is
different.
never to have that happen,
Yeah.
ever.
That's a different issue altogether. But even like I think people start focusing a lot more on the flower market. Like if you bought something a year ago, a lot of people didn't add any like humidity packs in there. But even the good brands now, they want to add more humidity packs because who knows when the product is going to be actually sold. Like
Well,
your
and the
package.
irony is our stuff's flying now, and
Yeah.
we're adding the humidity packs. But no, look, it's all about the packs. It's about the humidity pack, but it's more about the packaging.
Yeah.
You know, if the packaging is not airtight, if you're using one of these Curon root jars, well, of course, no matter what you do, the product is going to arrive dry.
Yeah.
So what did we do? We put everything in glass jars. We put
yeah.
it in Mylar pouches. We put it in, airtight calyx jars. That's the key. It's great quality product with great quality hydration packs to maintain it, but also incredible packaging. If you don't
Yeah.
hit all three, you're just destined for failure, and you're going to lose that bag appeal that the customers have actually come to know and want.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I think I want to understand how you guys are keeping the quality, the freshness, but still hitting that price point. Like I haven't seen an expensive like Mera Cannabis product yet.
Well, the answer is really simple. We hold all 5 licenses, right? So we can grow it, we can extract it, we can R&D test in-house, but we can also package it and sell on the medical and recreational market. So we are fully vertically integrated, and that allows us to create incredibly low-cost product and pass that on to the consumer, but maintain quality through having standards.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but I think the biggest problem out there is people are worried about their KPIs. They're worried about, getting product out the door to make money. And, I'm more worried about retaining a customer so the second time they open a jar, they go, wow, that's exactly what I expected.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want anything more or less than that.
Yeah. I think that's the only thing because your customer is your first and only person who's going to decide if your product is good or no. If you can push them on butt tenders, you can give them free samples.
Well, look, let's look at brands that are giving out the most free samples today. They're
Yeah.
the ones with the most presence in store with displays. They're
Yeah.
also the ones doing the most activations. They're also the ones probably doing the most booths at shows, right?
Yeah.
But guess who's selling the 3rd and 9th best concentrate in Ontario? Oh, right. The guy who has no money to market it, right? Why? Because people have tried it, went, damn, that's good.
Yeah.
That gets me stoned. And they go back for more. And, we just can't keep it on the shelf.
Yeah, that's amazing. Just talking about like future in terms of what Ontario is coming up with. I see a lot more products are coming in, but not in terms of just Mera Cannabis. What do you think this market is missing right now?
What is the market missing right now?
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to give away secrets. I don't want to give away the secret sauce. My Mott's applesauce. You
Yeah.
don't want that. No, the market is missing correction in the industry from the standpoint of Health Canada. Health Canada needs to undo their mistakes immediately,
Yeah.
or they will tank the industry.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, it's a long discussion in terms of like there's a cannabis review coming up which has been postponed for like
Yeah, but
years
the
now.
cannabis review, and I think everyone's getting their head in the wrong place about it. The
Yeah.
cannabis review has absolutely nothing to do with reviewing the rules around
Yeah,
cannabis.
yeah.
And I think everyone needs to be very cognizant that they're going to be very unhappy when this review is completed. This review is about children in cannabis,
Yeah.
driving in cannabis, and growing in your home. This review will not touch on any of the things that LPs want to see touched on. And that comes down to advocacy and lobbying, right?
Yeah.
Look at the tobacco industry, the oil and gas industry. Look at how they spend their money. We're not doing that in the same way due to the fact that the industry has been structured not to make the same, amounts of money.
Yeah.
I think that Health Canada really needs to self-assess and realize that they are putting handcuffs on product creation and adult use. And, how many times have you gone to the store and bought a handle of vodka and chunked it? Never.
Yeah.
You're an adult and you can make your own decisions
Exactly,
as an adult.
yeah.
But right now, you're not allowed to make those decisions in cannabis, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Yeah, so many times I'm tired of hearing people come in and saying, "Oh, do you have anything stronger than 10 milligrams?" And I'm like, "Yeah, there's this one product. They found their way around it. There's this one product out
There's
of
one.
hundreds."
it might be mine. No, but straight up, look, the other thing that people forget is look, you can go to the res right now and go buy any edible you could possibly want. And frankly, people do.
Yeah.
And so that becomes a problem for legal companies in that we want the legal companies to succeed. That's our goal.
Yeah.
And so how do we make that happen? And Health Canada isn't engaging that success, unfortunately. So I want to see them step it up, and I want to see them make some corrections, and I think that will equal innovation.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think this should be a PSA for Health Canada to start reviewing things now.
Hi,
and
PSA.
making sure.
I mean, hi, Health Canada. My name's Jonathan.
And
Fix
making
stuff.
sure, that even like retail stores can function more easily if they know that other legacy stores or websites on BC are not taking money from my store.
Yeah, no, that's true. Look, everyone's cannibalizing everyone. I was
Yeah.
at a legacy market yesterday, and the sales are just way down. The costs of products are way down.
Yeah.
Why? Because we're cannibalizing the market. It's not like there's more people buying weed now than there were before. If you wanted cannabis before legalization, you had cannabis before
Yeah.
legalization.
Yeah. Definitely. I think it's basically a race to the bottom where all of the Canadian government wanted lesser priced weed because they thought they can compete with legacy that way, but they're still taking that huge chunk of that percentage from whatever it's selling. So
Yeah, I think everyone forgets that legacy market was never about the price.
yeah.
I personally, California, 2005, I never had a problem paying $400 an ounce.
Yeah.
Ever. In the legal market,
Yeah.
right? It comes down to branding, bag appeal, consumer-facing brands that they want to associate with.
Mm-hmm.
And the rules that are put forth block all of those things.
Yeah.
So when you go to consumers today and say, who do you associate with? Their answer is nobody.
Yeah. Nobody.
They're just looking to try something new every time.
Yeah.
And that's what Health Canada needs to change, is giving the consumer a chance to associate with a brand.
Yeah.
How many other industries, including medicine, do you not have brand association with?
Yeah. Including medicine. Yeah.
Yeah,
Makes
even
sense,
prescribed medicine, right?
Yeah.
Like Viagra.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then they give you that random ass, fake Viagra. Oh, I don't want that. I don't want that. But that's brand association, right?
Yeah.
And that's in the medical market. Right now in the cannabis space, even in the medical market, we have no brand association.
Yeah.
And that's sad.
Yeah, there's a lot of white labeling going on, and there's basically no customer loyalty, unless it's the pure Sunfarm Spring Kush, where there's like 100% loyalty for some reason.
Well, and look, Pure Sunfarms Pink Kush right next to it has grown that beautiful Ghost Drops.
Yeah. And the cookies, like
sorry, not Ghost Drops,
yeah,
cookies.
Yeah.
But that's a great example, right? There's customers who don't care where it's grown. They care
Yeah.
about the brand.
Yeah.
And cookies is one of the only ones who have really pierced through that right?
Yeah.
That veil in Canada. So how do we do it? And that's next, right? That's what I think is the innovation.
Yeah.
That's what's missing. It's brand awareness, brand
Yeah.
association.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to some change, but happy that we still have these new innovations. I think in the past 6 months only, we got these infused joints, so many more things, like a bunch of like disposables coming in. So these 6 months, I guess, had that innovative period where someone was looking for so many things and they got those. Yeah.
Ah, the disposables. I don't know how I feel about disposables.
Yeah.
I mean, look, when somebody comes up with a disposable where you can remove the cart and, use it as a 510 thread battery forever, that to
Yeah.
me is going to be the innovation on
Yeah.
that space.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
That's what
The
actually
waste.
people I think want. Yeah, the waste is too much. First,
too
secondly,
much.
the battery is not enough. So we as retailers are struggling to like sell these products also. But people want disposable options. It's not like they don't want it.
Oh, they want it.
Yeah.
I just don't want to make it.
Yeah.
I'm going to let someone else make it.
Yeah, but there could be an innovation where you can literally just throw the cart out once you're done, but you still have the battery left, which you can
And
charge.
that would
if
be
this-
awesome, right?
Yeah.
I could get behind that.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Jonathan, for coming on. It was amazing to chat with you.
Anytime.
Yeah.
You just hit me up whenever you need.
Enjoy.